Latto really thought she was slick dropping this documentary, thinking she could easily outsmart the entire internet, but her raw delivery room audio just exposed the ultimate lie. For months, the collective digital space went on an absolute relentless witch hunt, dragging 21 Savage to hell and back while claiming he completely abandoned her during this grueling pregnancy journey. But honey, the real receipts just dropped on our laps, and the mask has officially slipped. This isn't your basic, cute celebrity birth announcement. This is a heavily calculated, deeply messy rollout that has armchair relationship gurus losing their minds frame by frame. Some naive fans are out here calling this level of transparency sacred, while the real skeptical faction knows there is a far deeper, darker scandal being systematically covered up behind the scenes. The public was literally tearing him apart, labeling him as emotionally detached, but now that the unscripted footage is out, a toxic shift in perspective is underway. Did the internet completely fabricate this storyline out of thin air? Or is Latto just masterfully playing everyone for absolute damage control? Drop your thoughts below because the tea is boiling. Let's be completely for real right now and unpack how this entire web of deception started falling apart at the seams, because digital sleuths were already tracking Latto's movements weeks ago, catching the exact second her perfect storyline slipped up. Honey, the internet does not sleep, and when you are trying to hide a massive secret while maintaining a global rap career, you are bound to leave behind some chaotic digital footprints. The collective fandom had been aggressively whispering for months that Big Latto had secretly delivered her newborn long before she ever planned to drop this formal, dramatic documentary on our laps. Midweek, Latto jumped on her digital platforms sharing this heavily emotional clip, expressing deep, dramatic regret for being utterly unable to attend her foundation's inaugural Big Mama Day Mother's Day celebration. She looked straight into the camera, looking exhausted, telling her massive fanbase that she was merely caught up with some urgent personal matters and family logistics. Now, a casual viewer would just swallow that narrative whole, leave a supportive comment, and scroll past. But the toxic commentary community. Oh, they instantly smelled blood in the water. Eagle-eyed followers and TikTok analysts immediately grabbed that footage, downloaded it, and began dissecting it frame by frame, audio layer by audio layer like a high-stakes forensic team. And what they uncovered sent shockwaves through the entire digital space. If you turn your volume all the way up and pay microscopic attention to the ambient, muffled audio playing in the absolute background of that specific clip, you can distinctly detect what heavily resembles a newborn baby weeping in the distance. We are talking about a highly distinct, muffled newborn cry that completely invalidated her entire timeline of events. The internet instantly erupted into an absolute frenzy, with users aggressively resharing the audio breakdown across every single platform, claiming it was definitive, undeniable proof that the baby was already here and that Latto was actively running a massive covert operation to control the media narrative. This single microscopic slip-up instantly transformed the entire fanbase into amateur investigators, desperate to unearth the hidden truth ahead of any official declaration. People started questioning everything. Why hide the birth? Why play these elaborate games with the media? The narrative was already spinning out of control, but the plot thickened to a whole different level once observers started aggressively tearing apart the actual documentary footage she dropped to clean up the mess. Suddenly, in the middle of all this raw, unfiltered chaos, 21 Savage is spotted prominently across several highly intimate frames, embedded deeply within these vulnerable medical family milestones. This major revelation completely shattered the existing online discourse, which had been totally dominated by relentless speculation and claims that he had allegedly boycotted her baby shower and remained completely checked out throughout the entire grueling process. Before this footage dropped, public platforms were literally tearing 21 Savage to shreds, labeling him as a deadbeat, emotionally detached, and completely absent, with critics boldly suggesting that Latto was forced to navigate this heavy, painful journey entirely on her own. However, now that the public has witnessed him actively holding her hand, sitting by the hospital bed, and experiencing those monumental milestones right beside her, a massive toxic shift in perspective is underway, forcing the entire community to question their initial outrage. While a massive wave of users now openly admit that the internet completely overreacted, fabricated drama out of thin air, and owed that man a massive apology, a highly cynical faction remains completely unconvinced. They are looking at these transitions, these overly polished angles, and arguing that this sudden, convenient footage is nothing but forced damage control to protect his commercial brand. Armchair relationship gurus are online right now conducting high-stakes breakdowns of his body language, because while Latto masterfully captured the world's undivided attention with this delivery room bombshell, she left behind way too many loose ends for us to just ignore. To fully understand the depth of this absolute mess, we have to go right back to where this entire toxic wildfire originally ignited, because the receipts show it all started when Latto's dad decided to share a handful of brief, unedited snippets from the baby shower on his digital platforms. Honey, the uploaded footage was incredibly brief, literally a few fleeting seconds. Yet that tiny glimpse was more than enough ammunition for social media platforms to construct an entire fictional storyline. The internet detectives instantly pointed out that 21 Savage was completely missing from every single frame, causing the digital space to descend into wild, chaotic speculation that he had boycotted the celebration entirely due to behind-the-scenes drama. Critics immediately began publishing extensive breakdowns, leaving passive-aggressive remarks, and behaving as though they possessed absolute insider knowledge about the state of their relationship. But now that Latto has unveiled her comprehensive pregnancy documentary, the world can openly observe that 21 Savage was actively participating right at the center of those monumental milestones, which completely invalidates those premature, messy assumptions. An incredibly fascinating detail that truly gripped the public, however, was the revelation that Latto and 21 Savage deliberately chose to keep the gender of their child a complete mystery until the very moment of delivery. Consequently, even as she is actively inside the medical facility going through intense labor, she remains completely unaware of whether a son or a daughter is about to arrive. A massive portion of the online community praised this decision as incredibly refreshing, contrasting it against the modern tacky trend where high-profile figures transform their pregnancies into massive, corporately sponsored spectacles solely for public attention and clout. In stark contrast, Latto appeared to genuinely value a pure, unscripted experience for her inner circle. Yet, if you closely analyze the documentary, Latto undeniably signaled her strong desire to welcome a daughter. Her frequent, subtle drops about wanting a baby girl prompted a massive influx of comments from followers wishing for her to receive her little princess. Simultaneously, an opposing camp of followers is absolutely certain she delivered a son, arguing that specific expressions and slips from her relatives completely exposed the truth on camera. This has transformed the entire fanbase into amateur investigators, desperately trying to unearth the secret ahead of an official declaration. But honey, just when you thought the internet had digested all the baby drama, Latto delivered an entirely separate, devastating shockwave that left the entire music community completely stunned. She revealed that her highly anticipated project, Big Mama, scheduled for release on May 29th, is projected to be her absolute swan song due to her sudden decision to step away from the music industry permanently. This declaration caught the public completely off guard, especially considering she is currently on a massive upward trajectory, breaking records, and has far from realized her maximum commercial potential. Nevertheless, Latto has reiterated across various media platforms that embracing her role as a spouse and a parent holds infinitely more weight than global stardom. This has left her supporters fiercely debating whether she intends to walk away permanently, or if this simply marks an extended hiatus to prioritize her home life away from the toxic spotlights. I am incredibly curious to hear your real perspective on this unfolding situation. Do you lean toward Latto having a son or a daughter? And do you genuinely buy into the narrative that she is wrapping up her musical journey at this stage for good? Or is this just another masterclass in marketing to drive up her album sales? Make sure to spill your theories below, because the community is intensely divided on this topic. If this breakdown kept you hooked and gave you the real tea, ensure you hit the like button, subscribe, and activate the notification bell so you never miss a breaking story. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the very next breakdown. Samj Gaya. Part 3 Mainasi hum call to action, Side. Bilkul remove Kardit Hain or use Ekdom Raw, high drama conclusion par Kadam Kardi Hain. CTA Apko Akir Main Alagasi Mil Jaega. Honey, you know we can't just pack up and leave when the tea is still boiling hot on the stove, because this Latto and 21 Savage situation runs so much deeper than just a hospital room audio clip or a sudden retirement announcement. If you really look at how these massive celebrity machines operate, nothing, And I mean absolutely nothing happens by pure accident. The real cynical faction of the internet is looking at the timing of this entire rollout and screaming that this is the most calculated piece of crisis management we have seen all year. Think about it frame by frame. For the past 6 months, 21 Savage's public image was taking a massive, brutal beating across every single blog and comment section. He was being painted as the ultimate villain, an emotionally detached superstar who couldn't even be bothered to show up for the mother of his child. Then, just as the public outrage reaches an absolute boiling point, Latto suddenly drops a beautifully produced, cinematic mini-documentary that conveniently features him right at the center of her most vulnerable moments. It feels way too perfect, and the street-style commentary channels are refusing to just buy into this sudden happily ever after narrative without digging up the receipts. The real investigative sleuths are aggressively pointing out the glaring contradictions between the raw, unfiltered audio and the visual timeline Latto presented to the world. If she was truly trying to keep her personal milestones sacred and away from the toxic public eye, why record the most intimate, painful moments of labor and blast them across global platforms? Why put the unfiltered cries of your newborn baby on display for armchair relationship gurus to dissect frame by frame? The math simply isn't matching, honey. A highly vocal section of the community is convinced that 21 Savage's team was behind the scenes pulling the strings, treating this documentary as an absolute necessity for damage control to protect his commercial brand and upcoming tour metrics. They argue that Latto had to intentionally structure this footage to clean up the messy PR nightmare her dad accidentally started when he leaked those baby shower clips. It looks like a classic Hollywood play. Use the pure, undeniable joy of a newborn child to completely blind the audience from the real behind-the-scenes friction. And let's talk about that absolute bombshell of a retirement announcement dropping right before her highly anticipated project, Big Mama, hits the streets on May 29th. The internet is in an absolute meltdown trying to decipher if this is a genuine lifestyle shift or just the most manipulative marketing stunt of the digital era. In the rap game, announcing your permanent departure right before an album drops is the oldest trick in the book to drive up streaming numbers and create an artificial sense of urgency. If the public truly believes this is her absolute swan song, her sales will naturally skyrocket into the stratosphere. Skeptical fans are calling it out as a brilliant high-stakes business move to ensure maximum commercial success before she goes on a temporary hiatus to enjoy her new family life. But on the flip side, if she is being entirely real about walking away from global stardom to focus entirely on being a spouse and a mother, it shows just how exhausting and draining this industry really is when you're trying to protect your peace. The fan base remains fiercely divided, and the digital space has officially descended into a chaotic courtroom where everyone is acting like an absolute insider expert. TikTok analysts are out here freezing frames, comparing the interior design of the medical facility to track down the exact city she delivered in, and cross-referencing 21 Savage's travel schedule to see if the timeline even aligns. This level of intense public surveillance is exactly why high-profile figures turn their lives into corporately sponsored spectacles in the first place. Because if you don't control the narrative, the internet will proudly construct a messy, fictional storyline for you. Latto tried to play the media game on her own terms, but by giving the world a tiny, raw glimpse into the delivery room, she accidentally opened up a whole new floodgate of wild speculation that she can't easily shut down now. The drama is far from over, and every single glance, gesture, and transition in that footage is going to be heavily scrutinized for months to come. Honey, the tea is literally overflowing at this point, and you already know we cannot just close the book on this situation without getting your absolute, unfiltered thoughts. The digital space is completely split right down the middle, and it is turning into an absolute courtroom in these streets. So, I need you to do me a massive favor right now. Stop what you are doing, scroll right down to that comment section and start spilling the real truth. Do you actually buy into this beautifully orchestrated narrative that Latto dropped? Or are your eyes wide open to the fact that this delivery room footage was nothing but high-stakes, emergency industry damage control to save 21 Savage's public image? And let's not forget the absolute biggest bomb of the night. Do you genuinely believe Big Latto is packing up her bags and leaving the music industry forever after May 29th? Or is this just the most manipulative marketing stunt of the digital era to drive her album streams straight into the stratosphere? Don't hold back, honey. Get in those comments, state your receipts, and let me know if you are team son or team daughter, because you know the fandom is actively losing their minds trying to dissect those family reactions frame by frame. If this breakdown kept you completely hooked, gave you the real unfiltered tea, and exposed the messy layers behind the headlines, ensure you smash that like button right now. Do not play yourself. Subscribe to the channel and slam that notification bell so you never miss a single breaking story, a messy timeline reconstruction, or a hidden celebrity cover-up. We keep it raw, we keep it real, and we never stop digging for the absolute truth. Thank you for tuning in tonight, protect your peace, and I will see you all in the very next breakdown.